Hello and welcome back to the series where I rank all of Ashe's gym battles. Today I'm going to be ranking all of his Sinnoh gym battles. Previously I've covered Kanto, Johto and Hoenn, so be sure to check out them if you haven't already. They can be found in the description and in the playlist. And if you want to see the Unova gym battles ranked, then be sure to drop a like on the video. But let's get into it. Coming in last place, number 10 is Ashe vs Volkner. Keeping with tradition, this battle was yet again interrupted by Team Rocket shenanigans. Ashe and Volkner were about 2 minutes into their battle using Grottle and Luxray when the power went out. But technically they started the gym battle and it was official, so I'm going to count this on the list. Next up is Ashe vs Rourke, the rematch. So this is probably a hot take, but I prefer Ashe's first battle with Rourke where he got defeated over this rematch where he won. The battle just seemed strange to me. It didn't really feel like Ashe had grew much as a trainer. It had only been one episode in between since the previous battle. And sure, Ashe had a brand new style of battling to use out on Rourke, having his Pokemon spinning over them. But that was it really. Rourke seemed to be nerfed, his Onix and Geodude got taken out really easily. He saved his newly evolved Rampardos for the end, and it did really well, but I felt like Ashe overcame this challenge a little bit too easily. I wasn't a big fan of the spinning strategy that he learnt, but despite this, Turtwig's final battle with Rampardos had some nice moments. It spun underneath it and finished it off with a Razor Leaf. This is by no means a bad battle, but I really expected a little bit more. If you compare it to Ashe's match with Brawly in the Hoenn series, you can see that Ashe had clearly grown and come back with some nice strategies. In this battle it just seemed like he told his Pokemon to spin and everything worked out for him. In number 8 is Ashe vs Rourke Part 1. Ashe's first Sinnoh gym battle once again opened up with a rock type gym. Just like in Hoenn, this battle was actually really good for a first battle. It added the pressure of Paul being there watching over Ashe's battle after he beat Rourke himself. Ashe really struggled dealing with Rourke's Cranidos. Its speed was keeping up with all of Ashe's Pokemon, even Pikachu was struggling. Cranidos pretty much weakened Ashe's whole team. Aipom got taken out quite easily. Pikachu couldn't do anything about his head smash, and eventually Turtwig managed to overcome a flamethrower and finish off Cranidos. But Ashe's team was too badly weakened to finish off Rourke's other Pokemon, and Onix came in to finish off Turtwig and Pikachu with ease. The battle was good. Ashe really struggled. He tried a lot of direct attacks, but in the end his Pokemon just weren't strong enough. In number 7, from the son to the father, this is Ashe vs Byron. I really struggled to place this battle. A lot of the Sinnoh gym battles are really solid, and it's tough working out which is better than which, so there's not much in it from this one to the next one. Byron is certainly an interesting character. He uses steel types and mainly focuses on defense. Ashe's Chimchar put in a good shift against Bronzor, but the battle seemed to drain a lot out of Chimchar. Ashe's Weasel has come in quite handy for Ashe in recent battles, but in this one it struggled, and Steelix took it out with a sheer power of its Iron Tail. Chimchar came back on to deal with Steelix, and despite being worn out, it put in a really good shift. But Ashe got slightly lucky as all the digs that Chimchar was using managed to collapse the field surrounding Steelix and stopping it from moving, so Chimchar could finish it off with a Flame Wheel. The final matchup was between Bastiodon and Gliscor. Gliscor's first gym match was a very successful one. It used its tail to jump and get above Bastiodon quite nicely, and in the end it finished it off with a nice Sand Attack and Fire Fang combination. The battle was decent, but nothing that stood out for me too much apart from the final battle. I felt like I'd already seen this battle a million times already, and there wasn't much unique about it. Taking the 6th spot is Ashe vs Crash Awake. The battle for Ashe's 4th gym badge against the water powerhouse Crash Awake. But he didn't show off too much power in this episode. This battle was a walk in the park for Ashe. He won without losing a single of his 3 Pokemon, which doesn't really ever happen in gym battles. Pikachu faced off against Gyarados at the start, which reminded me of Pikachu against Claire's Gyarados. It seems like Pikachu always ends up coming face to face with one. It took out Gyarados pretty quickly with a Volt Tackle mid-air, which was awesome, and then Wake sent out Quagsire. And of course Pikachu's electric attacks couldn't affect it, so Ashe swapped into Turtwig, which was also 4 times effective. Ashe was really smart with his type matchups in this battle, and that along with how strong he had gotten is why he swept Wake so easily. The final battle was between Floatzel and Buizel. Buizel came rising out of the water to hit it with a strong water pulse which finished it off. Ashe's Pokemon seemed really strong at this battle. Every hit they made was really crucial. I also enjoyed how once Buizel swapped with Pikachu, it helped him from getting the frozen ice off of his back. They made up after their arguing earlier on in the episode and got the victory for Ashe. The battle was really solid, but I think there's still been better battles in the anime which take place on a water field, such as the Wan battle or the Claire battle. Coming in number 5 is Ashe vs Gardenia. The battle for Ashe's second badge was against the grass type gym leader. The two had already battled, so this battle shared some similar aspects, but this battle really was awesome. It was a true grass type battle done properly. Both of them used the weather and the battlefield really well. It started off with Gardenia using Cherubi's solar beam, which could hit even faster because of the sun being up, but after this Ashe quickly used the sun to his advantage as well, with Starvatravia waiting for the clouds to move so the sun would blind Cherubi and then quickly take it out with a wing attack and aerial ace combination. Next up was some Turtwig on Turtwig action. This battle was great. You could see Ashe had learnt from its previous battle with Gardenia and he didn't fall into the same traps. It managed to overwhelm Gardenia's Turtwig, and both Pokemon battled hard, and in the end Ashe's Turtwig was victorious, despite taking some major damage from Leech Seed. Leech Seed always seems so overpowered in the anime, but I really do love it. The battle ended with Apom taking down Roserade. Again, some nice strategies were used by Ashe, with Apom's double team and its jumping through the trees. It's a real shame Apom was more interested in contests, because it really could have done some damage in gym battles, but overall I really enjoyed this battle. Number 4 is Ashe vs Fontina. Ashe's long awaited match had finally come around and it was a very enjoyable one. It was heavily focused on Ashe's brand new strategy, the Counter Shield. This is one of the most well known of Ashe's strategies of all time, because he uses it a lot, and we even see it return in Black and White. Also, Paul copied this strategy in the Pokemon League. Weasel put in some nice work in this gym yet again. So far it's been outstanding in most of the gym battles. It took down Gengar and barely seemed to break a sweat. But the real battle started when Chimchar came on and he used his fire counter shield while also using Flame Wheel at the same time, so its defense and attack were both up. This was really cool, and then it finished Mismagius off with one last Flame Wheel. Fontina's ace was Drifloon. Ashe really struggled with dealing with its Hypnosis and Psychic combination, but eventually Chimchar managed to find a way to counter it by going underground, coming out, flipping Drifloon over and finishing it off with one last flamethrower. This battle was unique to any other battles. It was mainly focusing on strategy rather than power, and it was a nice change of pace. In the third spot is Ashe vs Candice. This battle was really good. It was a 4-on-4. Up until now all of Ashe's battles had been a 3-on-3, so it had a lot more action in. Ashe came in with some power. He used Grottle, Gliscor, Chimchar and Staravia. He started strong with Grottle and Staravia landing easy wins against Sneasel and Medichan. Problems really started for Ashe once Candice brought in her ace Abomasnow. It took down both Grottle and Staravia with ease, but Ashe had a plan with Chimchar. He used the icicles on the floor to get Chimchar to skate on top of them to move around the giant Abomasnow, because it didn't have the speed to work out where Chimchar would be, and then once Abomasnow was worn out, Chimchar finished it off with one last Flame Wheel. This battle was really a show of how strong Ashe's Pokemon had become. They can take out early gym Pokemon pretty easily, with not many attacks needed, but when they come against a gym leader's ace, Ashe reverts back to using his head and coming up with a unique strategy. This was really a solid battle. In second place is Ashe vs Volkner. Ashe's final gym battle for his 8th badge was once again, like in other regions, a fantastic one. He came up against the revitalised Volkner in a 3-on-3 battle. Ashe's Torterra had a pretty disappointing performance, getting taken out with just one Ice Punch from Electivire. But after that, Pikachu came back in to put Ashe back in the battle with a finishing blow Iron Tail straight to Electivire's head. But the real star of the show was Infernape. It's his first gym battle since fully evolving, and it put in some excellent work. Firstly, taking down Volkner's Jolteon with a Mach Punch straight up into the ceiling, and then the final climactic battle between Luxray and Infernape. Both Pokemon pushed each other to their limits, and when it seemed like Infernape was done, its ability Blaze activated. Everyone was scared it wouldn't listen to Ashe, but it finally came through and listened for the first time. It was a massive needed power up for Ashe, and Infernape shows just how deadly it can be, and defeats Luxray with one last Flame Wheel. This battle was a fitting end to the gyms in Sinnoh, seeing how far Ashe and his team really have come, and especially a great development point for Infernape. But it wasn't enough to top the list for me. In the number 1 spot, you all know, is Ashe vs Maylene. This is probably one of Ashe's most famous battles in Sinnoh, and for all the right reasons. I actually forgot that this match ended in a draw, but I'm kind of glad that that's the way it went down. It was such a fierce battle towards the end, and it could have gone either way. Ashe's Staravia did really well in this battle. It had the type advantage, taking down both Machoke and Meditite. Ashe had to overcome Meditite's confusion, which got both Chimchar and Staravia, but he did some nice swapping out to cancel out the effects. We also saw him deal with the paralysis on Chimchar. The battle really gets going when Lucario comes out. Of course, it senses Chimchar with its aura underground, forces it to come out and finishes it off with one blow, which was awesome. And then the final battle between Weasel and Lucario is well known. It was such a tight battle, and Ashe's Weasel really showed off its power and determination to win. Maybe Ashe got lucky in the end here with the ceiling breaking and the rain starting to fall, activating Weasel's Swift Swim ability, but Weasel worked really hard in this battle, even learning Water Pulse along the way to counter Lucario's Aura Sphere. And then one last clash, knocking each other out. It was such a great battle and deserved to be this high on the list. So that is my ranking of all the Sinnoh gym battles. Please let me know how you would rank them. This was definitely the hardest to rank of the 4 so far. There were so many cool, unique battles in this batch. Please like the video if you want me to rank the Unova gym battles next. That one will certainly be interesting. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and I'll see you next time.